Hi everyone! Today we will learn how to create this wavelength light effect in touchdesigner. First, I will show you different variations you can create from this technique, and then I will break down the network step by step. At the end, I will promote my custom audio-reactive component I built from the same setup. So if you only want to watch the tutorial, you can skip the last part. To create this effect, the two most important parts are the luma blur top and the rgbadelay component. The luma blur top blurs the image on a pixel base using the luminance, RGBA values, grayscale values, etc. of the second input. You can understand as the first input is the image you want to blur, and the second input acts as a blur mask that controls where the blur happens and how strong the blur is. And the second key part is the RGBA delay. This is a built-in component in touchdesigner. You can find it in palette under the image filters, and it delays the red, green, blue, and alpha channels separately using the cached frames from the earlier. That helps to create this colored shift look, light reflection visuals. You can experiment and try out different delays to create the light reflections. Normally I use -5, -3, -2, or the same setup as the default value. These two are the most important parts to recreate this kind of effect, in my opinion, or that's how I figure out so far. And if you mastered it, you can create lots of different work of the same kind. Maybe a good example to learn from is Zach Lieberman, an artist, researcher, and educator, and the co-creator of the Open Frameworks. He has created numerous light studies through his daily code sketches. His work can be a huge inspiration to study and learn from. Alright, let's get started. First, add a ramp top and animate its face using the expression apps times seconds divided by 10. Lower down the period to 0.25 so you can see the difference. And also the difference without animate the face. And the resolution, I keep the resolution as default. How the ramp work is there's a table dat. The ramp color is driven by the dat that store its color keys. That gives us two ways to control it, either directly from the parameters over here by drag or type the value here, or we can control it using the table. You see, to change the value to achieve more precise control. Next, add a circle top connected to a blur top. Set the blur to pre-shrink 1, filter size 8. This is the value I use, but feel free to use different ones. Now connect the circle to first input of the luma blur and animated ramp into the second input. Then we add a ramp again and set the resolution to 1920 by 300 and create this stretched light band look. Then add a composite to compose the luma blur and our ramp together to give it a gradient texture. Operation multiply. That's the basics of creating the visuals. Now the audio reactivity part. There are a few things I did here. The first is I use the kick and snare to drive the background pattern. I will show you the difference without it. This is with the pattern disabled. And this is it. I use two noise displays with a richer texture. You can also using a simple noise. And using the kick snare count to drive the seed. So each time a kick and snare hits, you get a new pattern in the background. And then I just compose them together with the previous input. The second thing I did here is animating the ramp using LFO, but also using the high frequency to drive it. I think this one. Using high to drive the frequency of the LFO and use the LFO to drive the phase. But there is a problem we need to solve. The problem is that with the current ramp top interface setup, you can only type in values or drag your mouse from the panels here. There is no way to use audio or any other dynamic data to drive it. The solution is to create our own ramp key DAT, and I found this solution from Reddit, which I will link the post down below. To do that, we need a constant, add a constant, and add 5 channels. So in here you can write position RGBA, and then with these numbers here you can drive it with your audio. I'll do it one more time. Pause, and then you add another one, RBA. We can change the numbers here and add a chop too, including names. Then copy, paste, and merge them together. In here we choose append rows and then by name, so it will clean out this for us. And then we can name it, for example, data key. We remove the default one and type our new one, data key. There's something wrong here. Okay. So this is the color we have, and probably we want to shift it to okay. You see you can have like multiple different colors, and as for the background, actually we're gonna use this one rather than that. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. So in this way, with the constant chop, you're able to control and animate with your audio through here. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you want the exact project files, remix-ready templates, and commercial use assets, they're all on my Patreon. Download and project notes included, so you can remix faster and focus on what you do best. And support me to create more visual assets for you. See you next time!